Alright, so today's video is one of our BD drift breakdowns. I love doing these videos mainly because it helps me in the long run. I get to see the mistakes I make, and I like to make these for every drift event we go to. This was a very unique drift event because it was my very first time at a brand new track I'd never been to, and it was a road course. So with a little bit of experience under my belt, I was curious to see how I would do on a brand new road course. No hiccups in the morning, tires went on fine, everything was pointing in the right direction, and I was extremely excited to be able to try out my new setup and see what those tires would bring, even though I never got to them. But start off the video by thanking our sponsors, D&D Performance Interior, as well as MST Wheels. I do appreciate them supporting us. They support us in everything they do. D&D actually started a vlog channel, so posted in the link description. Go check it out, guys. I actually really enjoy their content. Awesome dudes and very supportive of the BD Nation. No, I'm just kidding. The BD fam, you know what I'm saying? So first run, Ben along with me. He's never been in the car, and again, I had no idea on where to go. This was my very first time on this track ever. So I was talking to my buddy Paul prior, and he said just initiate when you get to the hill. And as you see, when we get to the hill, I initiate before the hill, so which was interesting because I didn't realize that I was so close, and the second I got over the hill, I quickly realized I was nowhere near the entrance. So just kind of spun around and did a whoopsie daisy. Reinitiate, and I saw the line for this Manji area. It's kind of like a right to left ski, and I was so excited about it because it was so fluent. And the first couple runs was really hard because I had to find out what lines to take for how my car would work. So it took me a couple runs to figure out the right line. It was exciting though. It was very cool to figure out through the day what worked best. So very new, all over the place. Didn't really, not the smoothest run ever, but I just went for it. I don't know why, but every time I say, I'm just going to drive through, I never drive through. I actually just romp and go for it. Next run, I initiate. Did a little better, way too inside, so I hit that apex, but I just keep going through the sweeping turns, Manji, and then I realized that I don't have enough power, or I can't push my drift enough back, so I quickly realized that you need to Manji into the next turn. So Manji, overcorrected, and this was my first time when I would spin out. I would just try to hold it to see if I can power myself through it. So you'll see myself clutch kicking a lot more. Get back at it just to get another feel. This is the second run, and that turn tightens up quick, so it was just me getting a real feel for it. But overall, I think I did pretty well for the very first time. Again, to inside, I need to take it wider or rewind back to that run. So when you have an inside run, you have two things going on. So you can either A, take a wider line, of course, right? But how do you get that wider line? So I found in this case I was going too slow. So by the time I would scrub my speed, I didn't have enough angle and enough speed to get around the turn. You have two choices. You can initiate the same spot with more speed, or initiate a little later. So eventually you'll see me initiating at the same spot with more speed, but those are two ways to correct your lines. So initiating sooner or later, or increasing your speed. Let's continue. The second half I got a feel for. I finally realized that the straights I need to at least Manji kind of once, and towards the last sweeping I gotta really push it so I wouldn't straighten up. But it's a very fun track, I gotta say. It's very fluent as soon as you get the right lines to correct. And one of the things I really wish I did was I wanted to go out with one of the A drivers to be able to figure out what the correct line they were taking. One of the things I have going for me, or not going for me, but I'm really familiar with the Club Loose English Town track, so because I've been out with the drivers and I've seen what lines they take. So when I got my opportunity to drive on the front track, I kind of already knew exactly what line to take. So here it was interesting because it was basically my first time figuring out a track completely by myself. So you can see as I start to initiate a little bit better. Hand control wasn't too bad early on in the day. I was actually pretty pumped up about that. Like I was a little all over the place, but not too bad. I'm usually a lot worse. So getting a really good feel. You can see as I come around this corner, I have to power all the way, get enough speed to throw my car to transition around this turn, and from there it's kind of simple. Here is when A group drivers were actually grabbing the handbrake, e-brake, hydro brake, whatever you want to call it, and extending the drift way wide. Like I was too inside if I wanted to take this as one turn, which I realized towards the end of the day, but I didn't know this at first. So what I figured out is I can do a quick manji and transfer my weight around the corner. That was the end of my first session. I was pretty pumped up. I was happy with it. I wasn't too bummed out. I was just kind of getting a feel for the track. Second session, I went out with my buddy Bonnie. He's my ride or die homie, and I just kind of went for it. Just tried to make some adjustments and push back my initiation point. So I would initiate at the top of the hill, and as you see towards the end, it was a mid hill towards the end of the day. So just kind of taking the lines, going through, getting a feel for the track. I still wasn't perfect with it, so if you see, I reset and reinitiated towards when I felt comfortable. And here I was doing mostly just throttle control and steering. I didn't really left foot brake at all. I was really concerned. It was one thing, it was an event that I really couldn't think while I was out on the track because I was trying to think of so many different things. I was kind of somewhat all over the place, but I was just trying to get used to it. So you can see me start to pick a little bit of a better initiation point. That one I took a little too outside. Like I was too wide on the entry of the turn, and I should have pushed back or widened up my line into it. Too much transition, but I power through. Sometimes it's okay to straighten up. I know sometimes, I try to, like, my whole goal with when I'm driving is to balance my car. So I don't want to jerk my car around too much because then it becomes out of control. So I try to practice with transferring my weight really smooth as much as I can. And here I'm explaining to Bonnie how I need to go wide and then back and forth, and we have fun. Initiation a little bit before the top of the hill. I come in a little too hot, which kind of throws off my whole line. So this is one of the tracks that it's really hard if you don't correct yourself early on, your whole run will be messed up. But here I kind of made my adjustments and was able to correct myself. And we were entering pretty quick. We were going like 60 miles per hour around that. So it's pretty quick. Nothing crazy. But overall, I'm pretty pumped about it. Oh, here. So again, remember I said I was trying to power through when I spun out. So I transfer my weight really hard. And if you see, I drop it into first and I tried to do a 360 entry. And I was like, I didn't want to waste runs. One of the things I don't like doing is trying new things, just for the fact that I still want to evolve and get better at what I know. So that's why most of the time I don't really try to e-brake entry yet until I have everything I know properly down and executed. And also when you spin out, clutch in, brake, because someone could be behind you, and sometimes when you stall when you're driving, it takes like 5 seconds to restart your car. And I was saying that 5 seconds on the track, it's like 5 minutes. That was exaggeration, blah blah blah. Man, I was on a roll, and I hate when that happens, but it's all good. So I think I told you that you're not allowed to drive on these near those cones, and when A class was going out, they did, and that's why I did later in the day. So here we go. All right, sorry to get a little more smooth. Drive, manji, and I forget what I was talking about. Oh, I was saying this is one of my best runs, if not the best, second best. I had a good one with Jay, but it was very smooth. I took the right line very wide, and my speed was up as well. We were entering at around 60, I think, around that turn. I put my shield down because the wind was crazy. I usually don't drift with my shield down, but with that amount of angle, like the wind was blinding me. So I was getting, as you see, I was very excited about that run, and so was Bonnie. We were pumped up. This is what I was talking about when you're on the wrong line. You want to reset instead of trying to just kind of make it work. It's better to ruin just a segment of the track instead of the whole run just being off your line. So here you see me reset a lot because the transitions weren't at the points that I wanted them to be. I should have went. Reason I cut that short is mainly because I didn't carry enough speed around the course. If I had more speed, I'd be able to get around the corner. This is our last session. So each session we got about 4 runs, which I wasn't too thrilled about. I mean, I'm not complaining, but I was really digging the track, and I was super excited to be there. So I was by the time I warmed up and really got to know the track, it was pretty much the end of the day. So my buddy Steven, he's one of our supporters. He met us out there, so I wanted to take him for a ride along. So he's with us at this run, and I didn't get one of the runs on film because my GoPro was like kind of crapping out. I don't know what's happening, but I was kind of all over the place in the beginning. It's all good. I didn't go fast enough. One thing to note is always when you're drifting, always keep your eyes ahead of. Keep your eyes looking down the track, just because if someone does spin out in front of you, it's always good to catch early on so you can straighten up before then. During our last session, we went out with A class, so it was AB, and towards the end, they were kind of stacking us, like they would let a tandem train go and then wait a couple seconds, and then a few seconds later they would let us go. So this is when Jay was in the car. This is when I say this, the other one was my best run. This might have been my best run. It's hard to say. I would have to put them side by side, but this was I was really having fun because A class was like I could see him down the ways, so I was just trying to go as fast as I can just to kind of catch up to him, as close as possible. Jay's a really awesome dude. If you guys haven't seen his channel, go check it out. He's a cool dude. So this next run, Mike Prez let me he let me go kind of with A class, not really. He waited 10 seconds, so they had a 10-second head start. So I was really just trying to catch up as fast as I could, so my lines were all off. I was just literally gunning for him. I was trying to keep up, but if you can see, that's why I'm kind of all over the place and straightening up a lot, because mainly I wanted to catch up with him and get close in tandem, even though I'm not allowed to tandem without a cage, and I want a cage. Help me get a cage. There's a cool picture of me during that turn. I'll post it right here. Alright, so the last run of the day, I was completely all over the place. I don't know what was going on, but not the best run from me. Not a good closing run. The beginning started out okay, but I don't know what happened. I forget. Let's see. I have no idea. Why did I not do well? Oh, I threw it in too hard, so I lost all my speed. So I tried to pull out my line, but it was just too much. So I just reinitiated, but then when I reinitiated, that turn gets real tight, and I was like, oh my god, don't hit! Oh my god! And then I was like, alright, might as well cook it. And yeah, so that's basically my event. I overall had a wonderful time. This was probably one of my favorite events, alongside with Club Loose North and Club Loose English Town last event. I feel like I'm really getting used to manipulating my car around the track, especially on a track that I never knew about. If you guys have any questions or anything that you see that I didn't correct, usually I try to go through these videos and try to correct what I did, but it was really hard for this one because I didn't really know the track too well, and I was trying, most of the time I was just learning the whole course and what lines to take. So if you guys have any advice, please feel free to put them in the comments below. If you guys like these types of videos, I'll keep doing them, and I love doing them because they're a lot of fun. It's cool to see me progress throughout the next year or so. I'm really enjoying this journey of drifting, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. We really need a cage. Probably going to invest in a hydro and a little bit of 360 banger. You know what I'm saying, guys? But alright, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful freaking Friday. Hopefully this sets your weekend off right. If you like this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you find it informational enough to share it on your Facebook, feel free to. I am going to be getting to work because I make this video first, and then I edit it, and then I do the voiceover, and then I mix it up. You know what I'm saying, guys? Alright, happy freaking Friday. We love you. New outro song, question mark? You know what I'm saying? Happy Friday, guys.
And nothing's ever made me cry as much as you, I swear. Your smile gives me motivation and some new ideas. My worst fear was always you not knowing who I am. Cause I've been on the road, dream chasing for you out here. I was the first thing that you opened your eyes to, and the last one that you said goodnight to. I went home and cried to, and I bawled my eyes out and then watched you. Glad I got you, that's a blatant fact. And every negative thing I said, I swear I take it back.